Well, good day, people. Rising Ground Church, Pastor Jamal. I wanted to come in here. I feel like I had this title before, and I'm not sure if I'm going to name it this, but I feel like I said this before. Well, the title anyway, or the statement, whatever. So it's about what's it all for. I know I said that, but anyway, what's it all for? What's it all for? And I'm specifically talking about why are we here? And I know I said this, but not this way. Okay, enough. Why are we here? So let's take a trip real fast. I want you to go with me. I'm going into not necessarily story mode, but it's kind of hypothetical, or let's just consider this to be truth, just for a minute. So the Bible says that Lucifer and a third of the angels rebelled against God, rebelled against the kingdom system that God has set up. Whatever that looks like in the heavenlies, I'm not absolutely sure, but I'm sure it resembles somewhat of, what do we do here on earth? So they rebelled against God and they were cast out. They were cast out and they tumbled down or fell down to the earth. Now, I believe, I'm pretty certain that we were not here. Man had not been created when the fall happened. So stay with me. So the fall happened. They tumbled down to this darkness of a abyss, and then God created man. So God created man, and God's like, okay, let's create man in our image. And he told man to have dominion, take authority, and it says over the fish and over the creepy crawlies, over the animals. But I'm wondering if it's because to take authority, to take dominion over something, I would imagine the something would have to have the ability to either withstand you or to rule or try to rule over you. And to me, that sounds a bit like a force that has the ability of understanding, of will, of emotions, of, just the ability to reason. So that probably is more accurate. It lines up with probably the angels that fell, Lucifer and all the other ones. So God says, take dominion over this earth. So we were thrusted into a situation where God equips us, because God is the power. God is still the only power that there is. But God equips us with his stuff. And we are to move through the earth, experience what we experience, and we are to seize it. We are to take dominion over it. So whatever is in opposition of God's rule and God's reign, God's ways, then this is what we're supposed to take dominion over. I think that's pretty simple to consider. So, most of us, we wonder why we go through the things we do, and sometimes again, it's like a perpetual thing. It continues to happen and over again. And, we're like, why, God? Why do we we go through what seems like the same thing all the time? And I feel like God was reminding me, I personally, I've never had this thought. So God was like, I created a system in heaven. The system that I was created eventually it tried to be overthrown, which you can't overthrow God. And as a result, the things, the beings, the whatever that tried to do it were cast out. So God is like, well, who's going to reoccupy these positions that have been, thrown away by the ones who actually did it? Who's going to answer the call, right? So then God says, I'm gonna have to come up with a system. I'm gonna have to come up with something that basically a testing place, a testing ground that will show me who is able to do God's work, who's able to stand with God. So then God creates man. He tells man his commission. I'm giving you this commission. Have authority, take dominion, repopulate the world with my image, with the things and the people or the beings, the spirits that will do what I say, without any fighting. You know what I'm saying? So then he does it, he creates us, and then we're here. Yes, the fall happens, devil comes in or whatever, and we get sidetracked. God creates a new plan to continue the old plan. So again, we are here to be prepared or be ready for our new position. We're only given 70 years. And as you put 70 years up against eternity, there's no measurement. Some people live a little longer, some people live a little less for whatever reasons that there is, but it's still the same thing. So God gives us a specific amount of time to see who's going to be qualified to stand in the places of government in the kingdom. Who can he trust to love him? Who can God trust to do whatever God is requiring God's way? I'm pretty sure the only reason a person can be conceited and prideful is because, let's just use Lucifer. So I heard this in a way before, and I thought it was pretty cool. But you have the government of heaven, and you have the people who are in office in heaven. The people who are in office may not really see God, like one-on-one all the time. The officials in the government don't see the president all the time. Maybe they give him a call, maybe the president calls them, but nonetheless, they don't see him all the time. So as a result of not seeing your leader, your king, whoever all the time, you can establish a bit of pride because your office demands respect. You have people under you. You have a tremendous amount of authority in this position. So you can almost guess, or you can almost imagine how prideful that Lucifer became because of what his position held. So they were thrusted out, they fell out, and God needs new people to fill up these positions. So when you find yourself in a test, when you find yourself asking why, then think about this. You're in the test that you're in the place that you're in because God needs new government officials in heavenly places when that time comes. And he needs to test and test and test and test and test so that you'll know that you truly love God and you truly will do what God is orchestrating or commanding or commissioning you to do, because he needs to know that he can trust you for the real work when it comes. Now, this does not mean that every desire that God has placed in you won't show, because it has to show, because you even have to be tested with the gifts and the abundance of life that you should experience here. Because again, it's easy for us to get off course when we are living in certain abundance. You know what I mean? So I hope this made sense, man. I wanted to come in here. It really gave me some perspective that I didn't have, and it makes the testing that much more serious. It makes it that much more beautiful. So I hope you feel that too. That's all I got, y'all. Pastor Jamal. I'll talk to you. Bye.